Of the peace process. This morning we will start with our great ambassador, American ambassador in Malta, which is going to give us a real introduction of what we can see, also the American situation today. And really, you know that President Obama has been making a great speech in Cairo University, I think last year. And you cannot imagine how the movement which happened, that everybody supported Obama. Everybody was happy that he's going to create a real peace in the region. Today, what about the situation today? We are asking ourselves, and ask also ourselves what we can do to support Obama. And this is the real message. Because President Obama, when he came was serious, came with a vision that he's intended really to produce a peace process in the region. Probably a lot of problem around has to be solved. A lot of changement has to be done politically, socially, economically, culturally. Has to be created, be changed in order to find a solution. Yesterday, we know each problem separately, and today we are going to talk about solution also separately for each one, if we can. How to create trustness, again, for reducing the peace process. Our first speaker is the ambassador, Ambassador Douglas W. Kmiec. And I really thank him very much that he found the time to come to participate, and all of us are anxious to hear his comments and to hear his statement. Mr. Ambassador, you have the floor.
Good morning, Sabah al-Khair, Shalom, Your Excellencies, representatives of the United Nations, members of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Mediterranean, distinguished delegates, in these brief remarks, permit me to say a few words about the foreign policy of the Obama administration, and then to speak specifically to the matter at hand. President Obama's foreign policy has been described as truly ambitious. In 1 year in office, the President has redefined the United States' view of the world, and it is fair to say that his approach of seeing the United States as one nation among many nations allows the world to see the United States in a different view as well. In the 1980s, when I served President Reagan as his constitutional lawyer, America was the counterbalancing superpower to the Soviet Union. Today, the Soviet Union does not exist, and the concept of superpower is out of date. As the President stated before the United Nations, the United States today acts collaboratively and not unilaterally, with the expectation that all nations will recognize and assume their appropriate role to secure the defense of the world against terror and any of its local variations. With due respect, what has been said at the conference, demanding that the United States unilaterally do this or that in respect to Israel or Palestine, may fail to perceive this different collaborative approach that President Obama has brought to foreign policy. The United States does not impose its point of view, but it does share in this basic truth. It is a basic truth that was well articulated by Pope Paul VI, and it is basically this. If one wishes to work for peace, one must first establish justice. To work for justice, one must see the truth of the human person. And what is that truth? That as a reflection of his or her Creator, all persons uniformly desire, whether born in Tel Aviv, Ramallah, or Chicago, whether Jew, Muslim, or Christian, or none of the above, to live well, to learn as fully as one's talents allow, to love and be loved by friend and family, and to leave a legacy for the next generation. President Obama, during his first year in office, has sought to reconceptualize American foreign policy in terms of justice, in terms of the truth of the human person. But what does that mean for the matters at hand? Just this. President Obama has clearly articulated that Islam is not an enemy, and as ever watchful as the entire world must be with respect to the prevention of terror, the global war on terror is not the sum and substance of American foreign policy, nor is it the sole preoccupation or responsibility of the United States. In the matter of Israel and Palestine, it is the Obama administration's intent to be a fair-minded mediator. While some here may take issue with our past actions, few, I think, have any doubt that the United States, under President Obama, is committed to be an honest broker. No one should assume that the United States presently comes to the table of discussion as Israel's lawyer or as Palestine's apologist. And it advances no one's interests to merely have gatherings where only one side is heard and all that occurs is the railing against the other or a catalog of past sins and transgressions. Along with all other civilized nations, the United States condemns the Holocaust and all forms of terror or violence directed at civilian populations. But that condemnation in itself is not sufficient to guide the way ahead. The Israeli-Palestine conflict has continued far too long. It has had far too high a cost to the people of Israel and to the surrounding Arab communities and Arab nations. The United States strategy continues to be a two-pronged approach to achieve the goal of two autonomous and fully functioning states, Israel and Palestine, living side by side in peace and security. The first prong is to encourage the parties to enter negotiations to reach an agreement on all permanent status issues, and the second prong to assist the Palestinians build their economy and their political institutions in a way and in those ways necessary to sustain the Palestinian state. The two objectives are mutually reinforcing, both are essential, and neither can be attained without the other. But how to achieve these objectives? It's quite simple. The parties should come back to the table now without precondition and fairness, justice,